Hi, welcome everyone. I call to order the regular September 8th, 2025 City of New Ulm Park and Rec Commission meeting. Let's start with previewing our agenda. Next on the agenda is our roll call. We could all introduce ourselves. Cheryl, we'll start with you this time.
Cheryl Corman, staff.
Jensen, Commissioner.
Commissioner.
Carissa Bugler, Commissioner.
Dave Christian, Council Liaison.
Jeff Golden, Commissioner.
Joey Schugel, staff.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. All right, moving on to agenda item number 3, looking for the approval of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried for the agenda. Looking at agenda item number 4, which is approval of the minutes. They were included in your packet. Looking for a motion to approve or an amendment?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried for the minutes from July 14th. Moving on to agenda item number 5. 5.1 is City Council Meeting Recap. Director Schugel.
Thank you, Chair Bugler. Commissioners, a few updates this month. At the July 15th meeting, we had no park and recreation related business. We met the day prior to that. August 5th, the large shooting range grant was approved to submit the grant. And then at the August 5th meeting, the council also accepted the parks and recreation related donations. And then on August 19th, an update that we're just getting today because we had a workshop in August is the large shooting range grant was accepted or was approved by the DNR. So we were awarded those funds for the new trap range building. So the city council accepted that at the August 19th meeting so we could get the process started on that. And then on September 2nd at the regular city council meeting, the council had a closed session related to naming rights of the recreation center. And as you recall, Front Burner Sports was retained at the beginning of February to start working on potential interests and partnerships with naming rights in our facilities, recreation center, civic center, amphitheater, German Park, the early focus. And that closed session came to the council to work out some potential contract details. If a contract does come forward from this, that would then be presented to you first before approval at the city council. So no contract at this point. We were just talking some contract details prior to a potential partnership and a contract in the future here.
Just for clarity, contract between the City of New Ulm and a potential naming rights, not with a company.
Correct. A contract, yes, with a
Just
with
want
a
to
partner.
clarify what
yes.
contract you were alluding to. So, okay, thank
It
you.
went good. It's moving in the right direction.
Okay, good. Okay, any other questions for the City Council meeting recap? Otherwise, I'm looking for a motion to receive and order filed the City Council past action report.
I'll move that.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to agenda item number 6, old business. The park and we'll start with 6.1, the Park and Rec Comprehensive Master Plan Update. Director Schugel.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler. Commissioners, the master planning process continues to move forward. We have pretty much wrapped up phase 1, which was gathering of data, and phase 2 then moves into the envision phase. But a big part of phase 1 was a survey. We had almost 500 submissions in that, which consultants were very happy with. Very high response, a lot of local response, which is good. We did have visitors complete the survey as well. Some of those survey results are in your packet today. So either at your leisure, please look into those, and there's some good information in there. As part of that, another submission or inclusion in your packet was the pop-up event that happened on New Ulm Night Out. And that's when our consultants were on site at that event and engaging the public in a different way. They had some nice map packet here that kind of showed that process. And got a lot of feedback on what people like to see here, or what, just engaging them and what they're using in our park system, maybe their ideas that they have, and how that can fit into this plan over the next 15 years. And then I did talk about what phase we're in here. One of the next big things as part of that Envision phase is a staff workshop. Well, not only Park and Rec staff, but some of our city planning staff and everything will be in person with our consultants and deep dive some of these, some of this feedback and how that can be included into the plan. But any questions on anything you saw in your packet or related to that report?
Feedback, just great recap. Director Schugel, nice to see that continuing to move forward, and really great to see the engagement in the community and the feedback. I'm looking for a motion then to receive and order file the Park and Rec Master Plan update.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to agenda item number 7.1 under new business, the 2026 Park and Rec fee schedule. This has been discussed already, so bringing for approval tonight.
Yes, Chair Bugler, Commissioners. As Chair Bugler indicated, this was at a July work session when this was first introduced to you. And we went through some of the updates that are proposed within that fee schedule. Staff is not proposing any large changes within our fee schedule. One of the things we did in going into 2025 was trying to simplify our fee schedule, but also not miss on the diversity we have in our system and being able to recognize where fees need to be called out and maybe reducing some of the levels of fees without losing revenue in those. But again, our priorities and philosophy are listed here in the packet, and happy to get your input on this. There are a call out in your packet or on some notes in your packet on that kind of simplify of where some of the updates are. Kind of one of our biggest updates, which seems like a small increase, a dollar increase, is Herman Monument. So that fee has not went up since 2018. So proposing that goes up from $3 to $4 there. Staffing that and just continuing with everything like that, as costs have gone up since 2018 and we haven't moved there. And one of the things is we don't move up with cents just because logistically it's cash only up there, so it's a process to have a lot of change up there. So that's why we're proposing a $1 increase there. Otherwise, you're seeing mostly 3% and 4% around, which has been traditionally something that we've tried to do without hitting some of our user groups with those large increases, but still moving with the cost of inflation and everything and staffing that we see. But happy to answer any questions or get feedback on any of our fees.
I've got one question. I'll ask it for Les Schultz, even though he's not with us anymore on the council because of the 56%. The outdoor wading pool, is that because moving it from the hour to hour and a half, the big increase?
Yes, and great question, Councilor Christian. So that is just a private rental. So as you know,
Private.
outdoor wading pools are free,
free.
and you're absolutely right. It's just because it moved from, it used to be an hour, but now it's an hour and a half, and that's where that increase is coming
All I
from.
needed to know.
And-
Thank you.
And this summer, that has went over really well. We had a lot of different parties at our wading pools because of that change there, and I guess maybe it got a little, our community that they have that option.
Any further questions or comments?
Do you get any grief when this comes out?
I think, so staff, Assistant Director Corman and myself, and really take a hard look at these fees and take a look at similar communities and facilities that are comparable to us. And we're not looking to price out our users, but also making sure we're, charging what, our facilities are worth as well to get back that investment. So really, we don't see a lot of that. Sometimes it's the rec center admission charge, which was set when we opened, and that hasn't changed. That's continuing to be that daily fee. One of the things we always come back with when we hear that, though, is there are a lot of different options than just coming in and paying that one-time fee. And those are reduced costs if you choose those options, such as a punch card, such as memberships and things like that. There is really good value there. And that's one of the reasons we don't expire our punch cards in a year, so people have the opportunity to use those and not have those expire.
One other question, and the one I kept looking down and through, community center with Lutheran Social Services, whatnot.
Yes, so right now that lease is still through the 2025, and that lease actually, if it's not reworked, it just continues on. So unless we give notice, right now, we haven't proposed an increase there. They're struggling a little bit.
No, I know.
So we want to keep that as a service in the community. But the early plan right now is to, and that would come separately to this commissioner council within that fee of the lease. Because again, that program is partially subsidized by the city.
Correct.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments for Director Schukel, staff? All right, hearing none, I'll look for a motion that we recommend to the City Council that we adopt the 2026 Park and Recreation Department fees as proposed.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Thank you for your work. You and Cheryl and others did to support that. Appreciate that. All right, moving on to agenda item 7.2, Park and Rec donations.
Chair Bugler, Commissioners, we do have one donation this month. It's for a German Park paver stone from Liz Cooper honoring Leo Berg in the amount of $200.
All right, we have one donation. Looking for a motion to recommend to the City Council to offer a resolution and waive the reading to accept the following donations offered to the City of New Ulm through the Park and Rec Department.
Being you read it, then I'll motion to approve.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to agenda items under number 8, reports from commissioner and staff. 8.1, do we have any commissioner reports for tonight? Okay, moving on to 8.2, staff reports. Director Schukel.
Thank you, Chair Bugler, Commissioners. Wanted to update that seasonal staff, for the most part, have completed their employment terms. We had a really nice summer of seasonal help, both in programs but in our maintenance department as well. A lot of returning staff and staff that didn't require that initial long-term training to get their feet wet with what we're doing in our department. So things have went really well. So this time of year, especially on the maintenance side, no more seasonals. So it's our full-timers are out mowing. Grass is still growing quite quickly. So a lot going on, but our crews are doing a good job for that on that part. If you've been by the BMX track, so there's a lot going on down there. So our River Valley BMX group is doing a great job. Over the weekend, they really moved a lot of earth and are working on their engineered retaining wall, and we'll start a track build this week. So if all goes well weather-wise, you'll see a lot of it coming together that way. And then this is kind of phase 1 of the process. There was a nice article in the journal as well, if you were able to see that. So continuing to support them. Our public utilities is doing a nice job helping out too with that work there. We talked a little about the trap building, so that is a go with those grant funds. Sioux Valley Gun Club has offered to match that grant, so that grant was for $100,000. We're projecting the building to be anywhere in the low 200s, 230 range, and some of that work potentially will be in-kind work when it's bid out. So we'll see how that comes back from some of the contractors that end up bidding on that. So we're feeling good about that. Not sure if that will be able to start this fall, just based on where the workload of contractors are, and depending on weather, how long of a fall we have for that. But if not this fall, the goal is to get in early spring and be one of the first projects, hopefully, for contractors out there to get done. And then I wanted to recap, we all had Herman Fest this weekend, but a big part of, hopefully a big part of Herman Fest going forward now is the Herman 5K. So that happened on Saturday morning to kind of kick off the day. Really nice event. We had good community support. We have a good amount of sponsorships that helped us put that on. Participants had the 5K option, they had a mile option, and then there was a youth obstacle course that happened on kind of the Harmon Park football field. I think out of those options, we had around 130 participants, which we were really happy with our first year. And people had a good time, a lot of thank yous for bringing it back. This was the first time since 2019, but on a new date, so I think that worked really well. We had a beautiful day, which we need for stuff like that. And our goal is then to continue to bring that back. And on top of that, Herman Fest then happened. Just so this commission knows that our department does help that nonprofit get the parks ready and get situated for the event to make sure they have as successful as event as possible. Obviously, that couldn't happen with the volunteers that help run that event, but always great thing to bring the community together and bring out people from outside the community, and then cap it off with a great fireworks show at night. So, and another beautiful day to make it happen. So, any questions on anything related to this report?
How's Herman standing as far as getting monies in or redoing the structure? Where are we going from here?
Yes, good question, Commissioner Golden. So my goal is to have you another update in a meeting soon, but here's kind of where we're at with that. Right now, we have a proposal from the architects McDonald and Mack to actually specific full project construction costs to tear down and rebuild. So it's a proposal to pay for that. So one thing we're working through with the State Historical Preservation Office and our local representatives is, again, trying to figure out, do we need to go through the historical preservation to have the chance to get legacy money? If so, yes, we will. Or can we tear down the base? The actual statue is historically significant and rebuild it as close as possible, because we know, we're pretty confident that 90% or 95% of that base is not reusable materials. So that's why we're really trying to make sure before, because these proposals are coming in just to estimate construction costs. The price tag on that's over $100,000 before we get into it. So we're trying to be really mindful of the money that the city's put away to get us to that point. So we anticipate coming to council soon for an authorization on what to move forward, but we're trying to firm up a few things. We've got a few different answers from the state on how this would play out. Great thing is Herman's still open. Herman was still safe to climb this whole season. In your activity report coming up, you'll see some of the numbers in there. The process we knew all along will be a very long process, but we'd like to get to the point where we're really able to potentially have some fundraising out there from the Herman Monument Society, but have a attainable goal once it looks like that, and put some numbers to it.
Okay, any other questions or comments related to the staff report? As I look for a motion to accept and file the staff report.
So move.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to agenda item 8.3, the department activity report. Back to you.
Thank you, Chair Bugler. Commissioners, there are two activity reports in your packet, with last month being a work session. So the first one being the August activity report. Wanted to highlight, we had a question about wading pools earlier. just highlight the amount of visitors that were, that use the wading pools that are a free service. So over almost 5,000 for the summer. So that's, again, that's a free amenity that this past commission and commissions have continued to support, and the city council for free use in our park system. Wanted to highlight, we did our indoor preventative maintenance at the rec center for the indoor pool. And that was the last week of August, and necessary for staff to get a chance to do some of the things that we can't do when the pool's open. So that went well. One of the things you'll notice in August is our rec center reporting use is different. That's because we switched softwares at partway through August, so the reports need a full month to be able to show that information, so that's why.
Is that why we, okay,
Yes,
that
yes.
was the question I
Yes.
had. We're seeing, wow, that's a great month.
Right, right. So that'll look a little different, should be look a little different on your next activity report back to how it used to look. And August was a busy construction time, so we were able to put in some playgrounds and update the tennis courts at Washington Park, and North Park dugout project is underway as well, not complete yet, but busy as we try to get those projects all finished before the cold weather comes. And then, as you'll see in there, the July report's in there as well. So any questions out of either of these report, I'm happy to answer.
Hearing no questions, we'll look for a motion to accept and file the activity report for July and August 2025.
I'll
Make that motion.
One of you willing to take the second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. The date of our next meeting will be Monday, October 13th at 4 p.m. in this room. Is there any further business? Hearing none, we'll consider the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.